Bro, can we talk? Hey, welcome back to another episode of Bro, Can We Talk? I'm Damon. I'm joined today by my brother Winston, and we're glad you stopped by for a conversation with us. Bro, can we talk?
Yes, sir, we can.
My man.
Ed, but you asked what I want to talk about. I think unity or connectedness. I think so many people don't take the time to connect with their environment, to connect with the people around them, connect with themselves even, right? I mean, how many of us take jobs just to survive and not because it brings us joy or makes us feel good or we want to help somebody else or some inner motivation? You just do it.
I think timing is everything. And depending on what season you're in or the circumstances, a lot of people have taken jobs that were beneath their level of ability just because of the geographic look. I'm here now. The job is here now. The job pays X. Sure, I have aspirations for Y and Z, but at least I'm going to get X, and I need X right now. And people get stuck in those.
I get that, but it's the stuck piece that matters, right?
Come on.
Because if you have a goal for yourself, you know you want to do Y, right? You want to get to Y. Hell, you want to get to Z. But you don't have the resources to get to Z or even begin Z now. So you start with X. Now, you know and I know there are people who start at X and go, I ain't staying here forever, I'm going to Z. Right? And then there are people who get into X and go, well, X pays me a good living and I can eat and I can keep a roof over my head. So,
they don't expect a lot out of me.
Right. So I'm going to stay at X. But it's not about what they expect. It's about what you expect.
There you go. And I believe that life will hand you your own unique set of circumstances that will develop in you whatever is necessary for you to come to a fork where you will have to make a decision. Am I going to stay here, or am I going to take that narrow path within my mindset? Am I going to choose that narrow path and ascend for not only Z, AA, JJ, ZZ, right? Am I going to, do I want more out of life, or am I content being content right here? And I'm thankful for my own set of circumstances that have led me to this very moment, because I'm at a place where I see the benefit of not being content, making a decision to keep pressing on the narrow path, despite what it looked like, and now getting to a place where things are opening up for me, and that I'm no different than anybody else. And people who have ascended to whatever their personal level of success is, whatever their definition of it is, that's a part of their story as well, that they had to get sick and tired of being sick and tired and say, there's more for me than this. I'm more than this. And yeah, man. So forward is the only option, bro. Forward is the only option. I was made for more than X.
Right.
I was born with X.
Exactly.
And for some people, that's their measure of a good life, is that I didn't lose X.
Right. I didn't drop the W.
But you could have
gone to Y.
And still can.
True.
And
True.
Still can. As a man thinketh. It starts right there, bro. The 6 inches, that's the battlefield of the mind. From here to here, that 6 inches, man, is that's where it all starts and stops. That's where it ends and begins, is in the mind. And so, again, that unique set of circumstances for each individual person is what is going to make or break, shift that perspective, that mindset, and you become unstoppable when you stop depending on the applause of others, when you stop living for the acceptance of others, when you do it for you, like you said. When I don't need anybody else. I want everybody else to take this same journey, but I don't need anybody else.
Right.
Because whether they do or they don't,
Exactly.
what am I going to do? Whether anybody decides to follow me, walk with me, serve with me, change the world with me, or not, what am I going to do? And what I've learned is, and our relationship is an example of that. What I've learned is, as you continue to go forward, more will be added. Forrest Gump, maybe not the best analogy. Forrest Gump, as he was running, people said, I want to be a part of that.
That's right.
And to this day, according to the theme of the movie, to this day would still be following him had he not gotten to a place where he said, I'm tired now. I
Yeah.
think I'll go home.
That realization that I'm
What
where I
about
want to
us? The what about us? You was at Y. You had no focus on getting to Z. You did something to get off. You started following with Y. That was your why. But
be. You didn't have a Z picked out.
come on,
Chosen.
come on.
That's a great analogy.
So to tie that analogy up, Bro, Can We Talk exist to help men from all different beliefs, backgrounds, lifestyles, skin colors, religious affiliation, or to help men ascend to the highest version of themselves, to get to their ZZ.
You know what's interesting in all of that?
Yeah.
There has to be connectedness, because you're not going to get there by yourself.
Real talk.
You're not going to get there by yourself. You can't change the world by yourself, because if everybody else doesn't jump onto your, at least enough people jump onto your dream,
Yeah.
the world ain't going to change, because everybody else is going to go, we ain't doing that. Right?
Yes,
if,
sir.
If everybody watched Forrest Gump run and just was like, look at that dude run. This is like the 5th time he came by here.
Yeah.
All right. Instead of, I'm going to go run with him. This is the 5th time he came by here. I wonder what he's doing. Let me go find out. And join him and other people. Hey, listen, what you doing? Old boy running. I wonder where he's going. All right, I'll come with you.
Yeah. Oh, y'all are building a community for men, a safe space without judgment. Oh, I can get with that. I'll come with you.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I get to express what I got going on in my heart,
Right.
with people who are like-minded, who are going to listen to me,
Come on.
who might guide me in
Come on.
the direction I want to go, or join me. Why wouldn't I? Why not?
Can't lose.
What have I got to lose?
That's it. Can't lose.
Hey, hold up. I know you're enjoying this episode, but are you ready to break down walls and build a stronger community? Then join us Saturday, October 12th, 2024 at the VAPA Center in Charlotte, North Carolina for the Bro Can We Talk Vulnerability Conference. Hear from special guests Dr. Kendall L. Taylor and C. Maurice Ball, and be a part of powerful discussions, breakout sessions, Q&A sessions, so much more. Get your tickets now. Check the show notes for the link to buy tickets. Do not miss this opportunity to support the Backspins Music Academy Scholarship Fund. We will see you there. Now let's get back to the show. But click the link below.
It's so needed. It's so needed. And it's such an honor for me to be a part of this community. It's such an honor to lead such an amazing cause. I'm thankful. We got word of our 501c3 approval.
Yes, sir.
I'm thankful that the government sees us as trustworthy cause. The sky is the floor, because there's so many phenomenal leaders and men with phenomenal life stories that are relatable, that are watching this, wherever they watching this right now, whatever day or time it is, and they're saying, I can get with that. That's the 5th time they came by here. I want to run with them. And when they get it and they see that it's not about us, but it's about empowering other men, Houston chapter, Boston chapter, Atlanta chapter, New York, Los Angeles chapter, and the small towns. When they see that it's about men, come on, man. I don't want to do it by myself. I won't succeed by myself. So I'm going to keep running. And I thank you for deciding to run with me.
Absolutely,
And
man.
you who are listening, I thank you for deciding to run with me.
Yep, on the same path. So, and I think that in returning to the original statement about connectedness, I think it's that recognition that we're all connected, and how goes the world goes our lives, and vice versa. How goes our lives goes the world. So if we build better lives for ourselves, start to change how the world operates. I mean, everybody talks about the turmoil and what have you that's going on in the U.S. right now, but there's a certain point where we each get to sit down and recognize our part in it, right? And that our part, as small as we may believe it is, and it's not really, because our part affects everybody around us, and that just spreads. So the more that we find that unity and that connectedness in our lives, I believe, and actually put it into action, the more the rest of the world changes.
That's really good. And it reminded me of uh, a picture that came to mind for me, my life being a puzzle. In fact, I might have told you the thought that came to mind was what I wanted was a poster. I gave God this poster. That's what I want. And God gave me the pieces to a puzzle. And it wasn't a toddler puzzle with 8 pieces.
Right. It's right. It was one of them 3,000-piece joints
This is exactly what I'm
in
saying.
a circle.
Without a picture on the box. I think these are both blue. Maybe it goes here. Right. And so what I also figured out is that you too have a puzzle.
Yep.
Maybe not everybody's is a 3,000-piece puzzle, but here's a fact. Because we are connected, my puzzle at the very border of it connects to your puzzle. So at least we've got that border figured out. Now I'm gonna help you sort your puzzle, and you're helping me sort my puzzle.
Right.
But we all have a puzzle, bro.
That's a nice.
You're not given a poster. You get that shit out your head. It don't work like that.
And as a puzzle, it's probably a 3-dimensional puzzle or a 4-dimensional puzzle.
Wow.
4-dimensional.
Wow.
Because you're talking about things existing beyond us.
Yes, sir.
So that's deep. So what I was thinking as you were doing the introduction was about when we were kids, right? I know when I was probably elementary school starting with elementary school all the way through when I left the house and left the neighborhood, I had a core of friends, male friends, and we were bonded like this, and it wasn't, not a gang kind of thing or anything like that. It's just friends.
That was the unit.
That was the unit. And, there were different ones in school than there were at home.
Yeah.
But they were still there, and it was still just this this just group of males that hung out together. We had the same, when I was younger, we used to sit and have these conversations about the bad things we did, got caught by our parents and got whoopings for, and there was so much unity in being that everybody, one way or another, we even to the point of, hey man, yeah, I did so and so. My mother caught me, man, and she took that cord and that iron and she started going to town, And I'm like, well, cord and iron. I never got hit with a cord and iron. My parents only used the belt, but mine hit me with a spoon once, and mine hit me with this, and mine hit me with that. The eyeball out was the dude that was like, oh, I never get beatings, I just get punishments. Like, what? What kind of parents you got?
You have ruined the unity, sir. Single-handedly pissed on the unity we had going. We got the business.
Yeah, you can go sit over there. But just those different, being able to have those discussions about the stresses and the bad times in your life, and actually make jokes about them, because that everybody else has a bad time too. Everybody else goes through some type of challenge, some type of obstacle in the way, just like you do. In this case, of course, it's you're getting the whooping from your parents. That it brings you together, and it makes you feel more whole as an individual. You don't feel as strange or as what's the word? As much of an outsider. My friends at home, we had those discussions from time to time, but the thing was, at home we used to go hang out. We go to the movies, we go to the park, we go playing football, baseball, basketball, all these other things. It's kind of like that's where the good times and the positive building of those relationships were. But it was still, just us core guys talking about girls, what we want for our lives in the future, what we want to do, all the rest of that.
So somebody coined the phrase "misery loves company."
Correct.
But in reality, it's our bad times that bond us.
Because I'll tell you, when I was in the military, I was in the Marine Corps. The Marines used to have this saying. It was called, if it ain't raining, you ain't training. Right? And you're out in the field training and it starts raining, everybody's miserable. But at the same time, you know that all of you are going through that same misery together. All of you have a job to do, and you push and you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you have a good time, and then there's the conversation about, remember that time when it was raining, it was cold as hell, and we were all in the back of the Humvee telling jokes. Remember when Smitty did this? Remember when Jones did that?
You bonding over
that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many, couple of times, because you go out to the training area, especially if you're back on the base, there's fighting holes dug.
Yeah.
And so nobody fills those things in. But if it rains heavy enough, the water fills it in, and you can't see that you're getting ready to walk to a fighting hole if there's a puddle around it.
Right.
And you walk through and whoop, disappear.
Right.
That shit is funny as hell.
Unless it happens to you.
Unless it happens to you. But it is funny to watch.
What y'all laughing at?
It's funny.
All right, I guess it was. I said, get your laugh. Your time coming.
I mean, what else can you
Rodriguez, your time coming.
I remember myself and another lieutenant walking down this range, just doing the scouting on the range before we actually went and used it. And we're walking, and there's puddles all over the place because it had rained for like a week.
Yeah.
And I look and I see this one puddle, and it's got like this bronze gold tint at the top. And I look at it, because none of the other puddles had that crap. I look at it, I'm like, and the other lieutenant's walking along, and I'm like, looking at him and wondering what, because I'm dodging the puddles. He's like, well, stop being a bitch, Why are you dodging the puddles? I'm like, dude. He disappeared, man. I sat there for about 5 minutes laughing my ass off. I mean, he was going like that.
Bro. It just seemed like if you knew there were puddles, you would take a stick. I mean, at a minimum.
His cover was floating on the top of the water.
Yo, he disappeared. Wow.
Morning.
Wow. That's,
Oh my God, that was
you
hilarious.
can't make that up. Wow, bro.
But through all of that, come together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's all the military really is about, is that bringing everybody together. That's why boot camp's the way it is. That's why they shave your head when you go to boot camp. Make everybody basically the same.
Yeah.
Get rid of that old life that you had before you stepped on those footprints, because you're going to become a Marine when we're done with you. And when you're a Marine, and that's all there is to it. Once a Marine, always a Marine. And it's kind of the same ethos with all the services. You're not Johnny Smith anymore.
Yeah.
You're in the Air Force, you're in the Army, you're in the Navy, you're in the Marine Corps, you're in the Coast Guard. And that's what you are. That's your identity now.
Wow. Shout out to all those who serve, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Community is everything. I too remember, just like you said, having that unity in different spaces. The school friends were different than the bowling alley friends, who were different than the church friends. Right? Everybody is, it's amazing. And that's why to this day I have a certain level of connectedness. My wife, we married 13 years. My wife's like, I never heard you talk about them people. I never heard you mention him before. I'm like, well, that's my man. Yeah, I've been with you 14 years. I ain't never heard you talk about him before. But that's the power of having that connectedness in different spaces. And the only thing I really regret about it is that as you are on your journey, you have a heart for and a love for those same guys that were in your unit as kids, but it's pretty difficult staying connected with everybody, especially as he's chasing his thing this way, you're chasing your thing this way, right? And whatever, him taking himself through his journey to get to XYZ ZZ is a different path than you're taking to get to yours.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that really hurts my heart when it comes to I want the guys that know my heart towards them, bro. I'm still accessible. You can still reach me, and if things are aligning, let's help each other get. But as a now grown up man, damn near 50 years old, I wish I did still have some of those close knit relationships from my youth, because those were my guys.
Excuse me. But the thing is, I keep in touch. We talk at least once or twice a year. The guys that I grew up with in my neighborhood. It's different, like you said, though, because we've taken different paths as we've grown in from boyhood to manhood. We've taken different journeys for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
But to get to that goal that we've set for ourselves, that ZZ that we've set for ourselves. And I can safely say that me joining the military at 22 automatically changed the relationship I had with my friends that I had before I got on that train. Right? Before I got on the train, it was, hey, good luck, buddy. Keep in touch. We see you. But when I got back after OCS, I wasn't the same dude that left. I wasn't the same guy that left. And I didn't communicate the same because now I'm bringing a different world back to my old world, and figuring out, and especially at that age, it's hard to figure out what that unity looks like, and especially if you're committed to that job, whatever it is. And let's not forget, one of my friends was married with a child by then, right?
Different circumstances.
Everybody's circumstance changed. They move out of the neighborhood.
Circumstances were unique to them.
Exactly. So they move out of the neighborhood. They've got different things going on.
Or my parents moved me to Charlotte at age 10.
Right.
Right. So that's a whole different, because no shade to my, shout out to Reedsville, man. I love y'all. But too many people, I've heard people say this, and I'm not generalizing for all of Reedsville or any small country town, but it's a mindset of, oh, you up there in that big city, huh? No, Charlotte's really not a big city. Once you've traveled a little bit, you realize New York and Los Angeles are big cities.
Correct.
Chicago, Houston is a big. I just moved. That's a big city. Charlotte is not that.
So, I
But
mean, I come from New York City.
correct. But either way, it's just a different mindset.
Very much so.
And like you said, you brought a different world back to.
Yeah.
And it's just you going in two different
directions, and it's there's nothing wrong with that, and it's
nothing wrong with that.
When
that's your direction.
But when you're young, it's hard to recreate the commonality, because the commonality is still there. You know what I'm saying? The commonality is still there because you all grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew my friends from like the age of 9 or 10 until I was 22. Yeah. I mean, I still know them, but those were those years. And so we can still sit and talk about those years back there, but from 22 to 62, we can talk about it, but there's no real relation, because I'm not going through what you went through, and I wasn't there when you went through it.
Correct.
And you aren't going through what I went through. You weren't there when I went through it.
Correct.
As we were when we were kids. We were there. And when it happened, hey man, guess what happened to me? You know? We can have that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't at that age, it's hard to reconcile. As you get older, of course, it's easier to reconcile that, because you see the commonalities in the events that you've experienced. Because even though you've experienced yours over there and I experienced mine over here, we're old enough now to look back and go, yeah, I see where they align, and the fundamental lessons we got from those events, and that are equal.
To piggyback on that, we're old enough to draw our own perspective from your experiences.
Correct. And ask the questions that allow us to broaden our understanding.
So this would be the benefits of connectedness and unity as an adult male, right? Personal growth, mental well-being. I was listening to some content, and the doctor was saying that of all the organs in the human body, none of them need another human to be healthy, except for one, and that's the brain. The brain is the only organ. The kidney, everything else can be healthy by itself, but the brain is the only organ that requires another human for it to be healthy.
That's deep.
Come on, man. Unity, bro. Connectedness. And so that's just a underlying why reason for Bro Can We Talk existing, to build this community for men, because we got to be healthy.
Correct.
We got to be healthy. We definitely need to be healthy physically, but if we're not healthy mentally, good morning, sir. If we're not healthy mentally, the rest of it is for what? It's a wash.
Exactly. Agreed.
So
yeah, man.
Yeah, bro. Good stuff, man.
I think too, from a connectivity perspective, I think probably 2 generations ago, well, I guess I have to say from my generation, I'll say 2 generations ago, I think that youth looked up to older folk because they recognized that older people had the experience and the knowledge. And so they paid attention and they learned and they asked the questions they needed to get smarter and to prepare themselves for adulthood. Flip side of that was adults recognized that youth needed that guidance, and I believe readily gave it to them, especially their own children, to survive. I don't know, can't speak to what the emotional climate was like,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to think of 2 generations before mine. We're talking 30s,
Right.
20s,
Industrial.
right? Kids are out of the house at 13,
Mm.
14, doing adult stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Tough living
yes,
compared to now.
compared to now. But with that tough living, or those tough circumstances, I think there was more of a preparedness
Come on.
for life and living. And I think that,
Whew.
bro, can we talk? Us older folks need to accept and understand that we can learn from the younger folks and the younger folks can learn from us. But there has to be a willingness to connect and to provide the information necessary for their growth and for our understanding. Because we can sit here all day long and think that our way is the right way, and that's all fine and good, but the world is changing to suit them. So it's in our best interest to listen to what they're going through, to try and understand what they're going through and accept it as their experience, but also process it from our experience so that we can live more comfortably in their world, because it is their world, no matter how hard we fight to keep it. Because we're going to die anyway.
We all are. What are some ways that we as an organization can be a bridge between that older generation and that upcoming 18 to 25 generation?
I think as we talk about trying to get men to, or providing that space for men to achieve their higher selves or higher goals, those of us that have achieved need to be open to providing uh, support for those that are trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Those of us who have lived
Mm-hmm.
need to be open to providing that support for those who are trying to live. And we need to also be, like I said, open to listening to their experience, the experience of the younger folk, without judgment, without, that's wrong, or, because it's a different world. It's a different way of thinking. It's a different mindset. It's different from the way I think naturally, but that doesn't make it wrong because it works for them. It just doesn't work for me. So I can't judge it as not being viable. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I'm hearing you say that we as leaders of this team, we need to identify mentors, because as we build it, they will come.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we definitely need to create the space. And I was just taking some notes there because I didn't want to miss that opportunity. We got to create that avenue for the mentors, and then provide the mentors with the tools. We don't want guys to just come and say, "Hey, young blood. Hey, young blood." No. Hey, young blood, check out this curriculum provided by Bro Can We Talk. Right? We want to give these mentors the training so that they can go out and bring in trainable trainers.
Right. Right.
We
Right.
want-
But we also, but it's also about working with the folks that are here. I mean, we've
Yeah,
got a couple of
100%.
young folks that are working with us now,
Yes, sir.
and it's creating the space where they're comfortable asking us the questions as the elder statesman, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
comfortable asking us the questions that they need answered for their life. And I mean, yes, we're going to give it the answer from our perspective, but they get to interpret it into how it works for them in their life.
Yeah. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be a part of anything cookie cutter.
Correct.
Take ownership in the people you are pouring into.
But, I mean, that's part of Bro Can We Talk. And it, from my perspective anyway, is that it's about building men who can stand on their own 2 feet
Mm-hmm.
and live their lives in a way that makes them proud to be who they are.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Right. So contributing to that, to me, I guess it's the reward in itself. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean,
This would be very easy and common. When I say this, building Bro Can We Talk as an organization, it would be very easy and common if our goal was everybody be like Mike. If we were trying to build men walk like Mike, chew gum like Mike, dribble like Mike, if we had the goal is to help you become the best you. So
correct.
how can we assist you? Right. And so that's, I think, where it's really key for us to have the right strategy and the right tools in place as guys are coming in, for the guys who are currently connected to us, to get them there, because this is not uh, if you join this program for 6 weeks, you too can talk like a weatherman and go land any news anchor job, right?
Right.
This ain't that. So I was thinking about that, and um, that's the thing that's kept my mind going, is creating ways to um, that cater to everybody's unique circumstances. Something that's common enough that no matter what I've been through, I feel safe here, and I can bring my unique circumstances um, to a community like Bro Can We Talk, and they can help me get to my X, Y, Z, A, A, Z, Z. So it's that's my drive, is um, helping support all the amazing ideas that you have, bro, and and other teammates as we continue to build this community out. It's up, bro.
Yeah.
It's up. Like, if we can think it, we can build it.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
good stuff. Um, what barriers would you say? What barriers would you say keep men, or could potentially keep men from wanting the unity, desiring the unity, attaching themselves and their everything that comes along with them? Let's call it what it is. Their decision making, their habits, their mindset, attaching it to Bro Can We Talk?
Fear. Um, the how do I want to put it?
Fear of what?
Fear. First of all, fear of being open, authentic, and
Mm,
vulnerable. That's number one. Um, Fear of how it might look. Number two. Um, because we're talking about men being around men.
Hey man, we're gonna make feelings cool again for men, bro. We're gonna, not that they ever were cool,
Yeah, I
but
was
they
gonna say.
cool now.
Yeah, but we're gonna make them masculine cool, I
We're
guess.
gonna make it look sexy. Come on, man. Got the hot logo. Got the army behind us. Come on, man. We're gonna make this thing look real sexy. You feel me? I think what's key about that is the difference between transparency and vulnerability. Vulnerability is me giving you something that could potentially hurt me.
Correct.
I'm okay with that because I've decided within myself that I got to be free from whatever it is I'm handing you to hurt me with. I got to be free from the fear of that thing biting me in the butt or stabbing me in the back in order for me to give it to you in the first place.
That's true.
Right?
I was gonna say.
But if I were to share something with you and you turn around and if I share it with you in a safe space and you turn around and you tell somebody else that's not a safe space, that thing could, because now they only got a snippet of it anyway, but now it comes back and, man, did you know that John does blah, blah, blah? Well, that's the risk of vulnerability.
Right.
But if John is okay, if John has gotten in front of the blah, 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 John is,
Yeah.
and that's where I'm at with my decisions that I made in my past. And that's where I'm at with my life, bro, is, you know.
I think, when it comes to that vulnerability piece, right? Like you said, everybody's done something that might be questionable or whatever that can hurt us. But it's exactly what you said. Either you've gotten in front of it or you've gotten to the point where you've forgiven yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I know I did this. I shouldn't have done it. But this is where I was at that time, and I accepted that's where I was. I'm not that man anymore,
Mm-hmm.
or that boy, whichever, depending
Exactly.
on where you were. And I've forgiven myself, and I won't do it again. So now I can talk about it openly. I can, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So it's, I think that's where the vulnerability, like you said, I think that's where the vulnerability becomes transparency, right? Because now I'm not, my heart isn't thumping in my chest when I tell you that I did ABC.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Um,
Correct. Yeah. Very necessary. Very, very necessary. So I think in order to get to a place where somebody feels vulnerable with you, you have to create that safe space
correct.
for them. And so whether
Good
we
morning.
are, good morning, how y'all doing? Whether we are sitting here at a picnic table, whether we are at a ball game, a sports event, or, no matter where we are, you got to carry yourself, if you choose to carry yourself in a way that people can know, readily identify that this person has my best interest at heart and I'm safe with this person. And I'm not sure why it's so difficult for anybody to just care. I don't understand why it's so difficult for anybody to be available for somebody. Not for everybody.
Right.
I can't be available for everybody. Love the one you with, bro. Like, make it, the time should matter that somebody spent with you.
I agree 100%.
Right. And so in those moments, man, just people should never. At least I don't.
Well, the thing
I
is,
don't want
whether
anybody to feel like they. Why was I with him? You know what I mean?
it's a matter of whether. Good morning. It's a matter of whether you what your motivation is. Like I know,
That's true. Yeah.
there are people that just live to drain the energy out of you, however they can get it. And then there are people who live to share the energy with you, right? I'm here to, I'm here for you, right? Versus,
Take.
what can you do for me? It's two different things.
Gimme.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I know in my young days, a lot of my relationships were with women who were just there to take the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't recognize it because I don't know whether I didn't want to or I just didn't know how to.
Yeah.
But I didn't recognize it. Now I'm older, I can see that like that quick.
A mile away.
And if I do decide to engage, I know full and hell well I'm willingly doing this and that I am giving away my energy. So
Absolutely. It's the consciousness.
yeah, but like you, I don't choose to take from anybody. I want people when I leave their presence to say that they even in negative relationships, as in the a relationship gone bad, I want them to feel that they got something positive out of it. So
Right on, bro. Right on. I'm excited, man. Speaking of getting something positive out of it, I'm excited about conferences coming up in October.
yes, sir. I'm looking forward to that.
This is our inaugural vulnerability conference, October the 12th. It's going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. Just click the link below the video and you can access the tickets to this conference. We're going to have a phenomenal time, bro. Phenomenal time. What all we going to have going on at the conference, Winston?
What are we looking at? We've got two speakers. We're going to have a panel discussion.
Yes, sir.
So that guests can ask questions both to the speakers and to us.
Yes, sir. That's going to be so fun, man.
Yeah.
It really is. It's really going to be a phenomenal.
And then we got the breakout sessions.
Yeah.
Right. We're focused on different, 4 different breakout sessions focused on 4 different, what we call them, aspects of just being a man.
There you go.
Living life.
There you go. It's going to be dope, man. And yeah, looking to take on some more sponsors for that event.
Yes, sure.
And the tickets are limited. So the seating capacity, from what we're told, the capacity is 200 people.
Okay.
We decided to only present 150 tickets.
Correct.
This is an exclusive, intimate space where anybody that has anything to ask the panel during that Q&A session will have the stage, the space to do so. It's really going to be you had to be in the room moment.
Yes, sir.
It really is. And these guys that are coming to join us, the keynote speakers are going to be C. Maurice Ball, Dr. Kendall L. Taylor, and I've talked to both of these guys, and they are fired up, bro, to come and do what they do best. And so I'm excited, man. I'm excited to hear both of these guys, what they're going to bring on that day, especially around the topic of vulnerability, man. And it's going to be, it's really, brother, you want to be in the room. You want to be in the room so you can say, I was at the very first conference, Bro Can We Talk had. It was 150 men in the room. I was one of them. And so when we get to that 20,000 seat arena, I want you in that room as well, bro. So I'm excited about October, man. October 12th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be Uptown Charlotte. And again, all of the ticket information is in that link below. We want to thank you for pulling up a chair to the table. We want to thank you for joining us for this conversation about unity and connectedness. I think we should stay on this theme for a while, man. I really like I want to really drive home, man, why it's important for men to come out of isolation, for men to unite with us and the mission that we are on. And until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep the conversations going. Bro, can we talk?